Hi, I'm Ed Johnson from Exdia Bookkeeping Services. Thanks for joining us. On today's post, we're going to share our top 7 compliance items for bookkeeping. Now, before we go any further, these do not include your end of year compliance with your accountant. So your personal tax, your company tax, other bits and pieces that your accountant works with you on. They're not on this list. This is a compliance item list for bookkeeping. So here we go. Number 1, Payg. You collect tax out of your employees' pays. That needs to be sent to the tax office either monthly or quarterly, depending on the registration that you have with the tax office. Number 2, activity statements, also known as BAS, business activity statement. This is where you report to the tax office on the GST activity within your business, a few other bits and pieces, and either get a refund or pay the GST, the excess that you've collected. Usually monthly or quarterly, sometimes annually. If you're not sure if you should be registered for GST, let us know. We can advise you on that if you need to register. But if you are registered, you'd need to get your BAS in. Number 3, superannuation. So as you pay your employees, they accumulate superannuation. That needs to be sent off to the superannuation funds. Again, monthly or quarterly, depending on how you're set up. There's some great tools to help you manage that really simply, but that's an important obligation to look after your employees. Number 4, payroll tax. Look, this is one that doesn't apply to every business. It's a state tax and it can vary from state to state. But once your payroll, how much you're paying your employees, gets to a certain level, this tax can come into play. So keep an eye on your payroll, and if it's over $400,000, $500,000 a year, check out what the threshold is, keep an eye on it, and make sure that when you go over that threshold, you contact the relevant state revenue office and get your payroll tax sorted out. Number 5, tax file number declarations. So this is when you start a new employee. They need to fill out a tax file number declaration form, which is a tax office form. It can be paper. There are some electronic versions of it, and actually some of the softwares you can fill it out within the software and lodge it. So that records what the employment status is, what tax scale we're going to be using, the employee's details, and some other information. Number 6, payment summaries. Once a year we need to get these payment summaries out to our employees by the 14th of July, so they can have that in their hand and get their personal tax time. It shows their details, what they earned, how much tax we took out, etc. We also need to get the ATO summary of that back to the ATO in August. So there's 2 parts to that, very important. Number 7 is called TPAR, Taxable Payments Annual Report. So a lot of these items sound similar, but they're different. This one applies just in the construction industry. So it's to do with keeping track of contractors that are moving around from job to job. So if you're in that industry and you have contractors, you need to complete one of these reports each year. It shows who your contractors were, their ABN, it shows how much you paid them, and it shows what GST was involved in those transactions, and that form goes back to the tax office once a year. So they're our top 7. If you're confused, you're not sure which ones apply to your situation, please don't hesitate to get in touch with us. We'd be happy to give you advice on that and help you along the way. Thanks for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you at the next video.